What is money? As used in everyday conversation, the word money can mean many things, but to economists, it has a very specific meaning. To avoid confusion, we must clarify how economists' use of the word money differs from conventional usage. Economists define money, also referred to as the money supply, as anything that is generally accepted as payment for goods or services or in the repayment of debts. Currency, consisting of paper bills and coins, clearly fits this definition and is one type of money. When most people talk about money, they're talking about currency, paper money and coins. If, for example, someone comes up to you and says, "Your money or your life," you should quickly hand over all of your currency rather than ask, "What exactly do you mean by money?" To define money merely as currency is much too narrow a definition for economists. Because checks are also accepted as payment for purchases, checking account deposits are considered money as well. An even broader definition of money is needed because other items, such as savings deposits, can, in effect, function as money if they can be quickly and easily converted into currency or checking account deposits. As you can see, no single, precise definition of money or the money supply is possible, even for economists. To complicate matters further, the word money is frequently used synonymously with wealth. When people say, "Joe is rich, he has an awful lot of money," they probably mean that Joe not only has a lot of currency and a high balance in his checking account, but also has stocks, bonds, 4 cars, 3 houses, and a yacht. Thus, while currency is too narrow a definition of money, this other popular usage is much too broad. Economists make a distinction between money in the form of currency, demand deposits, and other items that are used to make purchases, and wealth, the total collection of pieces of property that serve to store value. Wealth includes not only money but also other assets such as bonds, common stock, art, land, furniture, cars, and houses. People also use the word money to describe what economists call income, as in the sentence, "Sheila would be a wonderful catch. She has a good job and earns a lot of money." Income is a flow of earnings per unit of time. Money, by contrast, is a stock. It is a certain amount at a given point in time. If someone tells you that he has an income of $1,000, you cannot tell whether he earns a lot or a little without knowing whether this $1,000 is earned per year, per month, or even per day. But if someone tells you that she has $1,000 in her pocket, you know exactly how much this is. Keep in mind that money refers to anything that is generally accepted as payment for goods and services or in the repayment of debts, and is distinct from income and wealth. Whether money is shells or rocks or gold or paper, it has 3 primary functions in any economy: as a medium of exchange, as a unit of account, and as a store of value. Of the 3 functions, its function as a medium of exchange is what distinguishes money from other assets such as stocks, bonds, and houses. In almost all market transactions in our economy, money in the form of currency or checks is a medium of exchange. It is used to pay for goods and services. The use of money as a medium of exchange promotes economic efficiency by minimizing the time spent in exchanging goods and services. To see why, let's look at a barter economy, one without money, in which goods and services are exchanged directly for other goods and services. Take the case of Ellen, the economics professor. who can do just one thing well: give brilliant economics lectures. In a barter economy, if Ellen wants to eat, she must find a farmer who not only produces the food she likes but also wants to learn economics. As you might expect, this search will be difficult and time-consuming, and Ellen might spend more time looking for such an economics-hungry farmer than she will teach. It is even possible that she will have to quit lecturing and go into farming herself. Even so, she may still starve to death. The time spent trying to exchange goods or services is called a transaction cost. In a barter economy, transaction costs are high because people have to satisfy a double coincidence of wants. They have to find someone who has a good or service they want and who also wants the good or service they have to offer. Let's see what happens if we introduce money into Ellen the economics professor's world. Ellen can teach anyone who is willing to pay money to hear her lecture. She can then go to any farmer, or his representative at the supermarket, and buy the food she needs with the money she has been paid. The problem of the double coincidence of wants is avoided, and Ellen saves a lot of time, which she may spend doing what she does best: teaching. As this example shows, money promotes economic efficiency by eliminating much of the time spent exchanging goods and services. It also promotes efficiency by allowing people to specialize in what they do best. Money is therefore essential in an economy. It is a lubricant that allows the economy to run more smoothly by lowering transaction costs, thereby encouraging specialization and division of labor. The need for money is so strong that almost every society beyond the most primitive invents it. For a commodity to function effectively as money, it has to meet several criteria. First, it must be easily standardized, making it simple to ascertain its value. Second, it must be widely accepted. Third, it must be divisible, so that it is easy to make change. The fourth, it must be easy to carry. And the last, it must not deteriorate quickly. Objects that have satisfied these criteria have taken many unusual forms throughout human history, ranging from wampum, strings of beads, used by Native Americans, to tobacco and whiskey, used by the early American colonists, to cigarettes, used in prisoner of war camps during World War II. The diverse forms of money that have been developed over the years are as much a testament to the inventiveness of the human race as are the developments of tools and language. Why making money is more fun than having it? I've always enjoyed making money more than having it. Having money is nice, but it's only a blip on my life contentment scale. I'm no fan of poverty, but the difference between $40,000 per year and $400,000 isn't that much. Despite these simple tastes, I've always been keenly interested in making money. Making money is fun and challenging. Running a business is both complex and simple at the same time, and the artists of making money need to know how to balance both. It requires a diverse set of skills, but also rewards people who can specialize carefully. To me, making money is one of the best games ever discovered. I can remember writing on a forum post for internet entrepreneurs several years back. One person was complaining about the difficulties of living on a small income. I quipped that if he could afford a high-speed internet connection, he already had enough money and should just enjoy the process of making it. Pretty trite, I know, but the idea still sticks with me. I've known many people who have become obsessed with one game or another. They read all the strategies, practice, and go to incredible lengths to be good at this game. The game is fun, but when it ends, nothing more has been accomplished. Nobody is better off, now that they have mastered this game. Not true with the game of making money. When you make money, you're exchanging value you've created for money. I use the words making money literally because that is what you are doing. Currency is just pieces of paper. They are a medium of exchanging value between two people. When you make money, you might not be printing dollar bills, but you've created the essence of what drives value around. Isn't money making a selfish, evil, greedy pursuit? It seems our cultural consciousness has made the connection between making money and stealing money. Rich people aren't generating value, they're just feeding off the hard work of people around them. The only way to get rich is to make somebody else poor. Virtuous people don't engage themselves in the dirty business of making money. I think this confusion arises because many people are motivated by having money, not making it. They want to have money, so that means that they use whatever combination of cheating, stealing, and creating that gets them the biggest payoff the fastest. That can be a dirty business, so I understand why some people have made some negative associations. If you're actually creating money, the situation is completely different. Since you're creating value, you're adding back to the world. The game isn't zero-sum. There are winners without losers in the game of making money. What about open source? Wouldn't it be more virtuous to create, and then distribute for free? Isn't making money, if not completely evil, at least a neutral activity? I believe in the power of free. Giving away free stuff isn't just humanitarian, it's a business strategy. 90% of what I work on is free. Free content is the television advertisement of the 21st century. When distribution and production have almost no costs, free content is a great tactic in the game of making money. But I don't agree with complete selflessness. If you forego any profits, you starve the very vehicle that creates value. Being without revenues means it's difficult, or impossible, to pay for the fixed costs associated with creation. Making money is a win-win situation. Win-lose situations of theft and cheating, along with lose-win situations of complete sacrifice, are not ideal. I think open-source initiatives are just the beginning of a new business strategy built on free. It's not breaking the idea of making money, which is, at the core, exchanging value, but simply giving it a new form. It's adding an expansion pack to the original game. Playing the game. There are many ways you can play the game. If you have a job, you're already playing it. You're probably just running a particularly boring version of the game. Entrepreneurship, particularly online entrepreneurship, is another version of the game. It's more difficult, but the challenges are more interesting. I'm an advocate for online entrepreneurship because it changes the way the game is played. Regular businesses require capital investments, employees, a fixed location, and considerable risk before getting started. Online entrepreneurship can be done with one person, anywhere you have a laptop, and for only a few dollars a month. The game isn't easy, but it's incredibly fun. Best of all, when you win, it isn't game over. The value you create trickles down to other people and you get to enjoy a little more luxury yourself. Even if having the money wasn't nearly as fun as making it. The importance of saving money on a rainy day. Saving is an attitude of the person keeping extra money before or after expenses. It is very important and needs to be a priority in life. However, most financial experts suggest that savings must be done before expenses and included in personal budgeting. Life is unpredictable. Maybe a sudden car repair, the stove that stops working, or a medical emergency could occur. This fact was clearly defined by the Merriam-Webster website dictionary that saving is preservation from danger or destruction, and the excess of income over consumption expenditures. With this definition, saving builds discipline in a person in their financial matters, which has a positive effect on everybody's lifestyles. The interesting part of saving money can provide a safety net for all unexpected events or emergencies and make life happy. Therefore, it is better to save money for a rainy day than spend it now. The main reason for saving for a rainy day is to give everyone a worry-free life in terms of unexpected life events and sudden expenses. According to Lloyds Bank head of savings Mark Rockcliffe, habitual savings provide an ease financial worries and reduce stress. This idea sounds true. Any personal projects like a car repair or a new roof for the house need savings to directly solve these issues. For medical emergencies, especially if needing urgent treatment, the need for money is surely important. The budget for the treatment can be funded by the available savings. If savings are consistent, a person can cover all these costs without going into debt, using credit, or getting a loan. Spending today to satisfy and enjoy life in a reasonable way is fine because people say life is too short to deprive oneself of all life's wants and experiences. Still, the most important thing is balancing current expenses with the ability to finance realistically everything, especially unexpected life expenses, through savings. Nobody knows during spending without controls that some expenses might happen and savings are not available, so worse situations arise. Saving is worth it because the joy of being prepared and not worrying is the biggest achievement in life. Another reason for saving for a rainy day is to give everybody a financial backup for many life plans and goals. The family member planning for a wedding needs a lot of preparations, especially financing the ceremonies of these life events. Similarly, a child going for a college education needs tuition, books, dorm stuff, and a lot more. These kinds of life plans and goals are easier and will surely materialize if savings are available before all these events happen. The cash reserves from saving can be also a big help in starting a business by funding the initial capital. Without ample savings, the plan for making a business will never happen. Joe Moran asserts in his article, having a plan and being diligent in your approach to savings provides a sense of accomplishment. The personal savings that have been arranged before can make these plans and goals happen. Lavish traveling in many places while young is a must because of social pressures. At the same time, this plan of excessive vacations will remain just a plan if the budget is not available. Huge savings are a must to make this traveling goal a reality and give the person a sort of happiness in seeing many places during a vacation tour. If spending is always uncontrolled, these life plans will never materialize. The availability of reserve funds by saving makes all the plans feasible and results in self-fulfillment. The last reason for saving for a rainy day is to give everyone a comfortable and abundant retirement. The earlier the person starts to save, the more the retirement money grows, and everyone is aware of this fact. Putting a small amount consistently in savings every month can earn interest over the long period of term, and this idea should be a good habit to acquire while younger and earning more. A good example of this is the state pension, which surely will provide enough income in the future to cover all costs. Also, a lot of saving investment provides a maximum advantage during employment, and a good example of this is the 401k enrollment, which gives an employee a perk of more savings from the company's shares. Another good idea is the money refunded from a yearly tax refund. Invest in mutual funds or any stocks that grow their value instead of spending it or keeping it in a regular bank account which earns very little interest. During the younger years, saving for retirement can provide a kind of life satisfaction because a person has a sense of security for the future. Sam Dogan personally supports this idea because savings gives people peace of mind, pride, and independence. Savings during younger years will give happy retirement days of which everybody is dreaming. Spending during younger years is normal because everybody wants to enjoy life to the fullest while young or try to treat themselves with all their hard-earned money. However, there should also be a portion of savings for getting older, which gives a sense of life achievements and self-responsibility while young. The consistency of saving for retirement is a good practice in life for having a better life and a happy retirement. The rationale of the concept of saving money for the rainy day is necessary for everyone's life because it permits a future without worries, which saves a person from all unexpected expenses. Saving money creates stability in living a less stressful life and results in happiness. Most of the unexpected occurrences can be easily managed with this concept of saving. A person can make all the plans and goals in life happen and provide a sense of happiness and realization in life. In the end, the attainment of all goals creates happiness, creates a quality of life, and gives a sense of financial security. Most of all, a comfortable and happy retirement in the future with abundant living from all savings can make a person feel content. An absence of fear of going broke during retirement is the best feeling of all. It is better to have money for what may happen in life than spending it now on what a person wants. Encouraging everyone to start saving money for a rainy day is essential because the saved money can affect a lot of things in human life. The idea of saving is an important tool to initiate simple solutions to life's problems. This creates motivation for everyone to enjoy and have a meaningful life. Saving will cover tomorrow's expenses and provide a restful sleep with nothing to worry about the next day's expenses. Also, might be an ingredient for a happy relationship because everyone gets satisfaction in the effects of it. Savings can keep everybody healthy because providing health care is possible if the financial level of everyone is enough. Having money saved up increases the sense of well-being in life. People who save regularly feel better about themselves because saving gives oneself the confidence to face the future, gives everyone peace of mind, makes the person feel proud about themselves, and gives them a sense of independence. Should you try to make money? Almost everyone is an artist. If you create something original, you're an artist. Whether that medium is music or software, it doesn't matter. A big question for a creator of any kind is whether to keep a passion as a hobby or try to use it to make an income. It didn't used to be this way. There was a clear dividing line between hobbies and work. Technology has made it possible for small-time artists to blur this line. Bloggers, amateur designers, and basement programmers have been able to make a decent living pursuing a hobby. The question is, should you do it? It's your choice. I'm not going to discuss the problem of whether artists should be allowed to make money off their work. I think the answer is a definite yes. Anyone who has spent hundreds of hours working on a project can attest that money certainly isn't everything or even the most important thing. However, by putting in all of that work, you should be able to choose your reward for success, whether it is money, praise, or change in the world. Ultimately, the decision to go pro needs to be made on an individual basis. Some people can really enjoy turning a pastime into a business. For other people, it will just be an overhead nightmare, sucking the joy out of an activity you once loved. Making money and creating art aren't the same thing. Typically, successful independent software developers don't spend most of their time developing software. Profitable developers often spend only about 30 to 40% of their time actually writing code. Some of the most successful developers spend less than 10%. For this website, only about 30% of my time is spent writing. As soon as you start trying to make money, you introduce overhead. I've found that the most successful micro-entrepreneurs spend the largest chunk of their time on marketing. Generally, you don't spend time on marketing if you aren't trying to make money. If you don't like the business activities, don't try to make money. With few exceptions, making money isn't just a process you can slap onto a hobby. It takes serious consideration and often occupies more of your time than the actual creation. The flip side of this is, of course, by turning a hobby into a moneymaker, you might be able to quit your job. This can end up giving you more time to create because, while you've added overhead, the extra income means you don't need to spend time working somewhere else. I enjoy doing the overhead work and business creation at least as much as I enjoy writing. But this is my preference, not everyone's. Money can kill the joy. I stopped freelance writing in August. Although I enjoyed writing for direct payment more than any other job I've had, it wasn't as fun as writing for free or writing for this website. I enjoy writing a lot more when I know that I'm not going to be paid a cent for finishing an article or book. When you directly exchange your time or efforts for money, it's easy to lose some of the joy. Now, instead of being a fun, voluntary activity, it becomes work. I've found that working indirectly for money by building a business, instead of per article or per deliverable, helps this problem. Some hobbies aren't good for making money. Just because you like your paintings, that doesn't mean people want to buy them. A hard lesson to learn for any micro-entrepreneur is that people don't want what you're selling. If your reason to go pro is the dream of watching $1,000 payments roll in while you sit back and relax, stop fantasizing. Why making money is good. I've just presented a few arguments for why any amateurs should think hard before starting to earn money. But, there are also many reasons to go pro other than greed. More professional projects. When you're limited to your own volunteer activities, and the help of whoever you can trick into working for free, your weaknesses will always show up in the final result. If you're a great programmer, but lousy interface designer, your software will be hard to use. Earning money from a project can give you the resources to make it better. Instead of having to do everything yourself, you can focus on your strengths and hire people to do what you can't. Revenues can allow you to improve what you have to offer to the world. Work on a bigger challenge. Earning money gives a very specific, measurable goal. When your goal is more abstract, it can be harder to focus on it. Earning money for me is a huge motivator, not because I really desire the extra cash, but because it turns a vague, open-ended task into a concrete and challenging goal. Quit your day job. I've never understood how some people live double lives. They spend the majority of their day working jobs they either tolerate or actively dislike, to spend their off hours working on satisfying projects to give away for free. There are valid reasons for this, and I mentioned a few of them above. However, why does there need to be a split? Why should the activity that gives you meaning and passion in life be separated off from the activity that earns you money? It would be like eating all your food in two different meals. One which has no nutrients, but flavor, and another that fills you up but tastes like cardboard. All or nothing. I'm of the opinion that pursuits to earn money should be an all or nothing approach. Either you keep it an amateur effort, free of overhead and customer service, or you work to build it into something meaningful. There are two big reasons for this. Most micro businesses take a lot of work to reach decent income levels. I probably earn about $50 per hour based on my monthly income and earnings per month, although it varies considerably. When I started, it was probably about 4 cents per hour. Although you don't need to start at such a low level, exponential scaling is important. Putting in half the effort might only give a tenth of the results. Second, the potentially corrupting factors of money occur no matter how much is involved. Hobbies become work whether you're paid $0.10 per hour or $1,000. The business overhead of earning money tends to be all or nothing. Can money buy happiness? Think to yourself about this question: can money really buy you happiness? You'd say, that's obvious, I'll just give you money and we'll be best friends. Just give me a moment of your time and I'll give you a better understanding of this question. Word happiness is hard to define. Everyone has a different viewpoint on happiness based on their past actions. People with money can buy you happiness because with the money you would be able to afford those shoes you want, and all the trips you've been dying to take. Some say money gives you strength, power, and clout, while on the other hand, some disagree. In my own opinion, I don't think money can buy you external joy in life. Money is a basic need in our lives to buy our daily basic necessities. Besides, money cannot buy you emotions of love and joy. Don't get me wrong, but there are many ways in which money does buy happiness. Money increases quality of life, which can make anyone happy. This is only true if one lives within his means, lives a modest lifestyle, and pursues happiness the right way. I personally think people believe that happiness is bought in stores. People overestimate how much pleasure they will get when they buy luxurious things. We really don't need all those extravagant luxury things. Are they necessities of life? There are two things: to show one's vanity, or they're just trying to keep up with Joan's speech. There are different classes of people, which are welfare, working, middle, and upper class. Everything isn't about the money, it's the little things that matter in life. Money cannot buy time, so use your time wisely and spend it with your loved ones. Not trying to make the most money. Any money can cause severe mental stress. Materials can become an unhealthy obsession. Money alone cannot buy peace of mind. On another perspective, with money, you can solve any problem. Everything can be bought and sold. The only question is the place. Money gives us the opportunity to extend our lives by using advanced technology in medicine. You can afford the best doctors, medicine, surgeries, nurses, and treatment abroad. People die because they have no money for treatment. Besides, rich people have much more opportunities to prevent the disease. It is clear, when we look at the best things in life and money, that they are indeed. We might sometimes take for granted the items we have. We may not realize how important love, family, and friends are. But when we really analyze it, it is indeed true that the best things in life are free. Can you imagine life without money now? It is even possible to survive in a world driven by money and the material world. Some people say that money makes the world go round. Therefore, there is no doubt that money has become the central axis of many people's lives. Everyone seems to be working tirelessly to earn money. Even students who study hard can find a high-paying job and earn a lot of money in the future. Although money cannot buy happiness, we cannot live without ourselves. Obviously, money cannot buy happiness, because many people work hard and fight for money every day, and they are often unhappy. Due to heavy workloads and long working hours, most of them have no time to spend money. They are wealthy and rich. They have no time or energy for leisure activities, and it goes without saying that their family and friends can barely see them. This can make them feel lonely and depressed. Excessive sweating does not bring happiness, but it is painful in this case. To make matters worse, money is often the main source of harm to happiness. People often fight for money, whether between friends or family. This can become a very serious problem. For example, it is often heard that long-term partners of family members argue about inheritance, and these family members argue about money-related issues. In some cases, the resulting unpleasant demands and relationships will be destroyed forever. So, what is the use of owning it when no one shares it? However, different views on money sometimes make a person happy. For some people, making enough money to pay their monthly bills and putting food on the table will make them happy. For others, karma can save enough money to buy things that interest them or go on vacation. With some savings, instead of living off wages, wages also give people a way of thinking. After all, if a person has to worry about encountering a financial crisis, they will not be happy. Therefore, money can buy happiness in one's own survival or in the immediate fulfillment of one's wishes. Should money be spent on space exploration? As we know, the necessity of humans always comes first. People have three essential things first in their life: nourishment, haven, and garments. However, these days most individuals don't have these fundamental things for enduring. The greater part of the created nations confronted destitution issues. On the other hand, the government spends more and more money on space research. Envision you possess a house that you have demolished throughout the years and never tried to fix any of its fundamental pieces. Similar to the gap in the rooftop, the establishment, running water, nursery, and it has turned out to be unsanitary. you need $1 million to set it up. Rather, you intend to surrender this house since you don't care for the area at any rate, and you need to get yourself another one. We realize that people exist, however we don't have the foggiest idea whether spacemakers exist, so why trouble? On the off chance that there are things out there, they don't hurt us. We individuals in your nation resemble family and you need to support the family. What amount of cash is given to space investigation? Many billions. They are paid through awards and financing as well as from a government organization, paid to organizations to create or improve current models or thoughts, and thus, those organizations pay for the materials and the labor to show those thoughts. This time and commitment could be centered around the closure of starvation or building creating nations. It could be utilized to expand the endeavors to battle terminal sicknesses or to fight contamination. We could have a workforce overflowing with splendid researchers dealing with how to improve the productivity of our utilization of vitality. Cash could be dispensed for instruction. We must concentrate our assets and endeavors on each issue in turn as indicated by need. In any event, a tenth of our assets and endeavors ought to be utilized by a team for one objective issue at once. Training ought to be our first need to get everybody on their feet to help the remainder of the world in a cycle of advancement. So investigating space can hold up until we are sound on the ground, except if there is some explanation that investigating space will improve our condition inside the following 10 ages more than instruction would improve our condition. That would be difficult to contend for investigation. Without any doubt, it is our inclination to investigate our condition, yet that condition isn't zero gravity, boundaries, and not the endurable limits we experience on Earth, of temperatures and landscape. Without a doubt, there is yet our very own generous zone planet we presently can't seem to completely investigate. Why surge off to space when we've not seen most of our planet yet? If individuals had recently remained in their very own areas, they would discover approaches to turn out to be exceptionally cutting edge with respect to those areas. Likely, it would arrive at the point that if they attempted investigation, they would have the option to profit almost anybody that chanced upon their human progress, and the other way around. Consider it as you would from old occasions in Eurasia. The Chinese were just ready to help Europe so well since they had been separated from them for such a long time, even though it did extremely prompt a lot of contentions and war, yet that was simply because of the Europeans' voracity. Here are numerous things in our reality that have not been found at this point. Do fixes to AIDS and disease ring a bell? What's more, shouldn't something be said about overcoming destitution? The fact of the matter is, that space investigation is very costly. We should discover an answer to what we don't know in our reality before investigating an alternate one. We just don't have the cash or assets. Furthermore, if it's joblessness you're stressed over, more individuals commit their lives to overcome the issues we think about, and not uncovering more for us to understand. To wrap it up, I would like to say that money is a tool which we use for our things, but we must spend it in the correct way. Spending money in space is not wrong, but they can't ignore the poverty of the world because most people don't have food for a day. On the other hand, according to WHO, every day thousands of children die because they don't have food. Moreover, the government can spend this money on education, and they can also spend on homeless people. The government should spend money on Earth because population and pollution increasing day by day, and they can use that money to control disease, or they can provide meals to poor families, and they must spend money on education.